IDF is saying it deeply regrets a strike on the only Catholic church in Gaza. 3 people were killed with another 10 injured, according to the Vatican. The IDF is saying the cause of the strike on the Holy Family Church was, quote, stray ammunition. The IDF also posting on X that an initial review showed fragments from a shell fired during operational activity in the area hit the church mistakenly. The cause of the incident is under review.
Pope Leo renewed his call for peace in Gaza, posting on X saying, "I am deeply saddened to learn of the loss of life and injury caused by the military attack on the Holy Family Catholic Church in Gaza. I assure the parish community of my spiritual closeness. I commend the souls of the deceased to the loving mercy of Almighty God and pray for their families and the injured. I renew my call for an immediate ceasefire. Only dialogue and reconciliation can ensure enduring peace."
So you're a person of faith, unlike myself, and you're Catholic.
I am, yes.
So what is your thoughts?
I'm very sad about it, and I appreciated Pope Leo's words of sympathy and expressing his hope that they would be reconciled with God. I find myself increasingly frustrated with Israel's attacks in this war, whether it's any religious facility, not just the Catholic Church. And, you know, I find that what Israel has done is they have used certain instances of Hamas using things like hospitals or schools as perhaps shelter in which to conduct their activities, but have sort of publicly suggested that every time they hit one of those facilities, they can explain it away as saying Hamas was using it as cover. And I think that explanation only works so many times before you all are targeting certain places in order to demoralize the populace.
No, absolutely, and I would commend you for saying that, and I would also commend other people of a conservative disposition who I think are becoming more and correctly, rigorously critical of Israeli actions in a lot of these points. It's also this explanation of stray ammunition. I'm inherently skeptical of that because Israeli forces do appear to be terribly error-prone whenever there's a lot of outrage about what happens. I mean, there was the missile attack on the World Central Kitchen vehicles, which killed a number of people. That was an error. Just a week ago, or less than a week ago, in fact, there was a strike against people lining up for water, which killed 10 people, including 6 children. Oh, that was also a mistake. There have been a number of these things where, when there is outrage, it's suddenly a mistake. Meanwhile, you know, there have been tens of thousands of Palestinians killed, an estimated 17,000 children. I would argue just a blithe disregard for civilian life. And so, you know, I'm of course sad that the Catholic Church was hit, and for those killed and injured in that respect, as I am for any incident where civilians are killed or injured.
And we know that Israel has incredibly sophisticated technology, that they are very capable of using intelligence to target people who are involved in war. We saw this with the attack on Iran, right? They were able to find out exactly where military leaders were meeting. They were able to apparently fly drones through windows and have very targeted strikes. Right. So it just doesn't pass the smell test that suddenly, when it comes to the war in Gaza, that they are making all of these huge mistakes, and that they're not able to target as precisely as they were in some of these other operations.
Exactly, and I think some of these explanations of error could literally be intended to protect or provide some cushion against eventual kind of war crimes charges for exactly the reason you mentioned. There's this level of precision, and yet they're hitting kids and churches and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that a lot of people on the right are speaking up more about this, and I'm always disturbed by the blanket accusation of anti-Semitism when there's any criticism of Israel, whether it's people on the left or the right. That has been thrown around with so much carelessness that it gives the impression that you're just not allowed to criticize Israel.
Absolutely. Agree entirely.
All right, Democrats got up and walked out of a Senate Judiciary hearing yesterday. We're going to tell you why. Stick around.